Welcome to the Believe Podcast Network SoCal Sweat. My name is Ann McDaniels, a former NFL cheerleader and product manager turned actress and model who dreams of being a UFC fighter. Meow. Learning strategies to help motivate others leads me to bring you interviews each week from a range of athletes, experts in fitness and nutrition, and so much more. Thanks for listening to Believe, the #1 podcast for working professionals, and let's push our endorphins to higher performance through SoCal Sweat. This is your host, Ann McDaniels, and welcome to another episode of Believe SoCal Sweat. Today, we are going to be talking about coconut water. We see coconut products everywhere. It's in juices, it's in milks, it's in chips, it's in the flour, everything, everywhere we go. How do we know how to break down the coconut products? There are some good, and there are some bad, and there are some real ugly. But today, I'm so excited to have Alan Cohen, CEO and maker of Kokomio Coconut Water Products. That's Kokomio. Ahead of time, you can look them up on the website at Kokomio.com or on Instagram at mykokomio.com. They come in 4 glorious flavors, such as original, pineapple, cacao, and cold brew. Alan was nice enough to send me the products ahead of time, and we will get more into it during this interview, but I can attest, when I got the packaging, when I got the shipment, it was so economical. It was so friendly to the environment. I took a bunch of pictures because I was just extremely impressed, and I sent them to friends who are very eco-friendly and are really into only buying products that are sustainable, and they've already purchased. So I'm very excited to have Alan break that down. But I was able to try all 4 flavors, and I can attest, #1, I love the cold brew the best because I am an iced coffee drinker. This was delicious, and then we have all the added protein and everything else in it. Followed by the cacao, which is, again, chocolate. You can't go wrong. This is a natural chocolate. The pineapple was insane. I felt like I was drinking a cocktail, but yet getting the wonderful benefits. And the original is just pure and delicious, and you know that it's coming from the most natural sources. And when you hear Alan's story, you can actually taste the beach in the bottle. But you don't have to take my word for it. I wanted to break it down, and I give him a 5 stars out of 5. I am very impressed, and I'm a pretty hard critic on coconut water. But today, I'm going to be talking to Alan Cohen, CEO and maker of Kokomio Coconut Water. Well, I am so excited to have Alan Cohen, head coconut of Kokomio Coconut Water. I love that he's a head coconut. I liked him already. From Mexico City. And we're going to be talking about the benefits of coconut water and the wonderful company he started to help elevate the Mexican economy. So please introduce yourself.
Actually, I was born in Mexico City, but I used to go to Acapulco when I was young very often. I loved going to the beach. That was my best spot. And my best thing was just laying there in the sand, enjoying this beautiful breeze and getting a fresh coconut just straight out from the palm tree and drinking that fresh water. For me, it couldn't get any better. That was, when I was young, that was what I usually did every time I went there. But it was challenging, going back to Mexico City, replicating that whole experience. It was really hard. Really, yeah. It was, just to replicate the beach and the sand. And I got really fond about coconuts because of that. I enjoyed drinking them. I even took some from Acapulco, bring it back to Mexico and drink them. But, challenging to open a coconut is not as easy as you might think it is. And, it wasn't the same experience. But how I started this is because, in Mexico, in Acapulco, there's this big cliff. It's called La Quebrada. And there are divers that just go and throw themselves and dive into very shallow waters. It's quite impressive. And I loved going there. I loved just watching them, and they do this like with fire in the night and really brave stuff. And it encouraged me to say, like, what if I could capture this experience that I love in the beaches in Acapulco and deliver it to the world so we can have it everywhere. Even if I went back to the city, I could enjoy it in the same way. So that's how I started, and it's said, well, why don't we create a coconut beverage, which is different than a coconut water.
Oh, I love it. And it's coming from such passion. I mean, there are companies out there that produce coconut water, and it's such a highly saturated. The RTD, ready to drink market, is huge, and I'm so impressed with your success. But I think it's coming from your true passion for the coconut itself, though the upbringing. It's almost like there's love coming through that coconut water from you, and there's such a passion. It's almost like your soul food, if you will. I'm sure you've heard the expression soul food.
Yeah.
Yes, that's really coming
is.
from your childhood. And I would love for you to talk about, you call it the beach in the bottle. What is that? Did you get help with that logo or just that tagline? Or is that just something that, no, when you drink it, this is exactly your upbringing as a child and everything like that?
Well, I mean, we have a great team that is always working on crazy ideas and really fun ideas on how we can communicate our brand. But basically, it's what I wanted to do. I mean, it's to recreate this experience of being on the beach and bottle it and share it, But Kokomio, it's even, I would say that it started that way as that passion, but it's been, the passion has increased as we move forward, because we found out a lot of things during our journey that helped us really elevate Kokomio to where we want to get to. And basically what we do is follow a circular economy model, where we take into account the people, the environment, and the business. So when we started, when I started to trying to understand how to get the coconuts, where to get the coconuts from, and what do I have to do to bottle this experience, the first thing we did is reached out to coconut growers in Guerrero, that is the state where Acapulco is in. And there we found that they live in really bad conditions. They don't have a wage as it is, they get paid by day. Basically the harvesters, they do that. And so I said, so even more, like, if we can create this amazing beverage, great quality beverage that the US consumer is really fond of, and we can give a really great quality product, we can help people in Mexico in the same way, and grow their opportunities. So we built a team. I started out a small team. It's still a little small, but it started out with a small team. And what we do is we have them in a regular wage, above average, wages. We support them, their families, and it's amazing how
I love it.
You can see the change in their families and everything when they have stability. And those were like really inspirational as we were going through our journey. But it also was like throughout these years, there's been like certain aspects throughout the journey that really elevated the brand for us and made us more passionate about it. That was one of it. And the second one was actually based on the environment. And we found, firstly, most of the coconut products that are in the US come from Asian coconuts. So that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you're transporting all the way across the sea these large containers.
And then we've got the shipping issues on top of that.
And now you have the shipping issues on top of it, But before, and it didn't make sense, the carbon footprint is so
huge. Big.
And we're just across the border. So it didn't make sense to me, that part, The second aspect was, of course, on labor as well. We found out that on some Asian farms, they use monkeys to harvest the coconuts, and they treat them really bad. So we're also against that. We're pro creating opportunities and not using animals for advantage. So we started to find out like the bad things around the industry.
Other brands.
and identified it, and we said, okay, how can we change this? And then another thing arose and said, well, okay, how can we change this, right? And the last one was then the most excited one that I have is that the waste around the husks of the coconut, it's so big, it's so huge. And even us, generating this waste, creating our beverage, because basically we take the water and we take the white meat and we blend it together. So it's not a coconut water, it's an elevated coconut beverage where you get the benefits from the electrolytes and the MCTs from the meat. But the other part went to waste. So first we found, really great properties as a compost, and we started to give it to farmers, so they can use it as a compost. But then during the pandemic, and this is exciting, everything closed down on us. We were just launching our product and we couldn't get anywhere. So what we did was trying to figure out how to sell online. Everything is jumping online, and then our product is perishable. So I started to find the challenge on shipping perishable. You need liner walls, you need gel packs, you need to keep the product refrigerated throughout the whole process. The pollution that creates around that kind of packaging, so huge. And we said, well, why don't we use, if you see the coconut as it is, it's an insulation system, because it can be on a palm tree for lots of time, bearing heat, huge amount of heat, bearing winds, and it drops and it stays fresh.
Except for in Los Angeles. The palm trees are not indigenous here, and they're always coming down.
Well, yeah, you have to take care of the land, of course. But so we use that and turn it into an insulation system, and now our e-commerce packages that are, I think in a couple of weeks, should be online throughout California. The product you purchase will come with a sustainable husk insulation, that it's compostable. You can put it in the ground and put some seeds and it will grow. Because it has great nutrients. So, or you can reuse it as well.
And do you put those instructions in there? Do you add those instructions?
Yeah, and there's a landing page on the site that we're gonna launch as well, where you can see how that works. You can also reuse it, and I don't know. I'm really excited because you're getting the whole coconut. You're getting the water, the meat, the husk, and trying to create, zero waste.
But it also shows your respect in sustainability for the coconut itself. You're not throwing anything away. You have respect for that fruit. I've learned that it's not a nut, that for the fruit, and it comes from the love of the farmers. And it's not just a product. You have every gamut of it, and you say the people, the environment, and the business around that. So talk about sustainability, which is it's a hot trend right now. And you're not just doing it for the trend. You are actually doing this because of what you believe in. And that's amazing. And I think more and more people are going to sustainable brands than anything else, especially when you mention China, with that huge carbon footprint, and the fact that monkeys are harvesting the coconuts. That's shocking to me, although it shouldn't be. So I really commend you on that. That's really huge. And you've really taken a lot of negatives and a lot of negative news with the pandemic and everything that you've faced, and you turned it around brilliantly. So
we're trying to. We're trying to. But we're getting there. Most of us, it's been trying to drive trial. We've been doing that. Another important thing to mention is that we're vertically integrated. So we own our own manufacturing plant in Mexico. So we process everything ourselves. So we control the quality. We have all the certifications, and it's USDA organic and non-GMO. So we really take good care of the quality. And now with all the supply chain issues, we control our supply chain, right? So that's really important for us. And we've done also tasting, trying to do tasting through demos in stores, to get people to really taste it. Because actually, and what we haven't mentioned is the taste, and the taste is amazing. I would love to send you samples, of course, the Asian coconuts taste different than the Mexican coconuts. So, for example, basically, the Asians have 3 times the natural sugar that a Mexican coconut has. So we have less sugar. The taste is not as sweet, as the Asian coconut. So it's a different taste, and it really tastes amazing. We have also with 4 flavors. We have the original one with pineapple that tastes as a piña colada, and you can use it as a mixer with a great cocktail, and it tastes amazing. We have one with cold brew coffee to get your caffeine up. I mean, it has the same caffeine as a cup of coffee. And another one with cacao that tastes just like a chocolate milk. My kids love that one. But
can I just tell you, the news came on today that chocolate milk is down. Why? Because we have enough chocolate and we have enough milk. We do not have the powder. The powder is not being made that binds that together. Because if you were to make chocolate milk without the powder, the chocolate would just stay on top. So the fact that you have this cacao beverage that's almost better than chocolate milk, you could already overtake that demographic, or that market share right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's fun because we work with natural ingredients, all sourced in Mexico. I mean, we don't add any kind of preservative or conservatives. I mean, it's completely fresh, completely natural. The health benefits that you're getting from drinking Kokomio are amazing because you're getting MCTs, you're getting electrolytes, you're getting potassium, you're getting plant protein. And when you add other ingredients, you get the benefits as well of the other ingredients, as the pineapple. And it works in different ways. I mean, we've used Kokomio in tons of ways. Me and my kids, we used to pour it into like this popsicle and put it on the freezer, these shelves, and put it on the freezer and have some Kokomio popsicles. We've done like Kokomio floats. We've done ice cream, just pouring it into a cup with Kokomio, and it's the coconut flavor with an ice cream.
Much healthier, absolutely.
And they're all healthy. They have low sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amazing. Can we go over the health benefits? Because there are so many, and I really want to cover the health benefits of coconut water. And people need to also be careful, because even when you mentioned the 3 times the sugar content for the Asian coconuts, and all coconut waters are not created equal. I mean, some can be up to 170 calories a can. What is the calorie content of your original?
So for an 11.8 ounce, we have around 100 calories.
Okay.
And we have 7 grams of natural sugar. Okay. So not added, just the pure natural sugar from the coconut, that it's very different. People need to understand what is different between that kind of sugar and the other added sugar. But for example, an Asian beverage can have like 21 grams of the same natural. It's still natural.
Sure.
But the thing is, what really differentiates from other brands, and we're different, is the other brands only use the water. So the water only contains the electrolytes.
Right.
They're great. They're healthy. They're great. We need this hydration. I mean, I heard stories about Columbus going to America and just throughout the journey only drinking coconut water. And there's a lot of stuff, like interesting facts there around coconut water. But the meat is where all the nutrients are. The white meat has MCTs, that are medium chain triglycerides, that are good fats for you. They have, you can have the plant protein. A Kokomio has around 2 grams of plant protein. So you're also getting protein into your system. It has potassium, it's a very complete healthy beverage. I mean,
Right.
you want to add any other stuff. There are also other brands, but there's also mixer with other stuff around it, and it's fine. But as a basic, we're not adding any other ingredients. Or if you turn out our bottle and you can see the ingredient list, it's just coconut. That's it. Or coconut and pineapple. It's as fresh as you can get it. I
Right
always
off the
say that
husk.
it's as closest as you get from getting a coconut straight out from the palm tree.
I love it, and that's why it's a beach in a bottle, which is I love your tagline. Now, when you say that it has the MCT and the electrolytes and everything like that because it's a duo, is that because could you say that it's almost a hybrid of the coconut milk with coconut water, or is it just straight coconut water? Because I feel like a lot of people think that if they buy coconut milk, that they're drinking coconut water, which is a totally different thing. There's a higher fat content. It's completely different. There are nutrients in there, but so you're still able to use the meat without adding the milk. So it's just that pulp, I guess.
Yeah, the thing is that we're kind of in the middle. Like between the milk and the water, we're kind of in the middle, right?
Got
So we're not using too much fat, we're not using only water, so we're kind of balancing it out.
Best of both worlds, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a happy medium. So, just a couple things on the coconut water benefits, because why should people buy coconut water? I've just from my studies, it promotes weight loss because it removes toxins and bloat. And although we have to watch the calories, because some people drink it every day, and that can be high caloric. Also, with the amount of magnesium and potassium, that can really set off your kidneys. So how many would you recommend drinking it every day or a few times a week?
No, I think you can drink it one every day. I mean,
In moderation,
it's important, and it's important that people also know the difference on the caloric level, because it's not the same calories from a cake than calories from a fruit.
It's good.
Even if the amount is the same, it's like zero, but you're getting healthy calories. So these calories, you can burn them. You can burn them like this. But the other calories, they're really hard to burn them. Same happens with the MCTs and the other saturated fats, right? So so it's important to balance it out. But for example, I have my father, he has type 2 diabetes.
Which is great, and this is great for diabetes, I just read.
Yeah,
I had no
it's
idea.
great. He has type 2 diabetes and he drinks Kokomio. I mean, he doesn't drink the Asian because the Asian has 21 grams and it like spikes his
Insulin.
his blood, the sugar in his blood. But he drinks Kokomio once a day, and he has been not with only Kokomio. He's done a lot of stuff as well, but he's been regulating his sugar levels. But Kokomio doesn't affect that. It helps on what he's doing.
That's wonderful. Good for him. I'm so glad he stuck with it, and hopefully he can get rid of his type 2. Also, so it regulates blood pressure. It's also anti-aging. Have you found the effects of that?
Not really. I mean, I understand. I mean, because there's also a lot of stuff on the internet and a lot of stuff, that people talk about, and sometimes they tend to exaggerate a little bit. But I think it depends, because you can. I know that they use like coconut oil and derivatives from the coconut as well with beauty products. So, for example,
that's probably what it is.
Not drinking it's not the same as just putting it as a cream to your face, right? So, if you use it that way, but it depends also with the other blends that the person is doing, So it's not only like, let's just grab meat and put it like in our face, right? But
and you lose 20 years. But what I really wanted to talk about is, especially in the LA market, there's a lot of athletes. Fitness is huge. This is a very, just in general, in society. Coconut water is compared to like a Gatorade or an electrolyte. But sometimes there was one study done on a guy who was playing tennis for like 18 hours or something like that. And he had, I think, 13 coconut waters, and he went into, because it was too much potassium and too many electrolytes. Now, I like that it does add electrolytes, and I love that it's lower in sugar than like a Gatorade. Do you recommend Kokomio as a sports drink, or do you recommend Kokomio just more as a daily enjoyable, healthful beverage? Because I think too many people use coconut water as a replacement for Gatorade. And is it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a little bit of both, but I would say Kokomio it's better for recovery. So, for example,
Cramping.
if you're playing and you need the hydration to keep on playing, and there's other stuff that the coconut has that can build up, as you said, as the potassium and the magnesium that can give you some trouble. But if you drink it like after your exercise, for me, I drink it every time after I'm done exercising, and it works beautiful. I mean, it really helps me recover really quick, and a lot of people that I've been giving that and using it that way have shown the same response as well.
Okay, very good. Because there are arguments for and against it, but I know a lot of people that drink coconut water just straight and they feel great. Another question is, coconut water has been considered a non-keto friendly beverage because there's too many carbs. How do you feel about that? For the keto diet, I guess it's said they don't allow it.
It depends on which coconut you're having. So if you're getting these Asian coconuts and you're getting these 21 grams of sugar, of course.
But carbs though.
Well, then the carbs, but the carbs are related, at the end of the day. I mean, some of the sugar turns into getting more carbs into it, and usually keto diets tend to go very low on sugar. That's why you see these keto chocolates, and there are the dark chocolates like 80% cacao,
right,
because they don't want any sugar in it, right? So keto is basically just cutting down. It's adding the healthy fats and cutting down on the sugars.
right.
So if you're drinking a coconut water that has 21 grams of natural sugar, then yes, it's not a keto friendly. But if you're drinking Kokomio and has 7 grams of natural sugar, you can drink it. Of course, you should not eat other stuff that have sugar. Maybe that will be your sugar of the day,
Right.
But it depends, every person is different. Each person has, I mean, and when we love to look at it as a general thing. Mm-hmm. But each person is different. It has different conditions. Some have like high blood sugar levels, some have low blood sugar levels. So it usually depends. What I like about Kokomio is that it's for everyone. It's balanced. It's balanced for type 2 diabetic that can drink it, and that you can drink it after recovery. But yes, of course, if you want to drink 20 Kokomios in a day, I mean, it's like everything in excess. It's bad,
right,
Right. It's not
no,
like something.
for sure. And I'm just speaking on the general because a study was done to say that it's not keto friendly. But I think, according to you, and plus, you already have a cacao Kokomio, so you already have the dark chocolate, basically the 80% of that. So very interesting. And I did not realize you had the pineapple and the cold brew, which sounds amazing. So where can people buy your products? I mean, I see, and I know that you've done the demos and the tastings, but what are some of the biggest United States companies that carry your product?
So we launched on California, specifically Southern California. So right now we're at independent stores around Southern California, in LA, in Ojai, or Rainbow Bridge, or there is also this one, Follow Your Heart. This kind of independence, but in a larger retailers, we're now at Jimbo's. We've been doing great there. People really found of our product at Jimbo's. Going into Lassen's soon. By next month, we should be delivering on Lassen's. And we just opened up Northern California. So we are targeting right now. Well, we're opening up independent stores next month over there. And opening a little bit like a Molly Stones and those kinds of natural grocers.
That's great. How about Whole Foods?
Yes, we submitted on Whole Foods, so we're trying there. We're making our push. We are, for us, it's been, and this is really important to mention, because for us, a challenge has been really telling people that we're different than a coconut water, that we're a coconut beverage. And sometimes when you submit to these retailers, they say, "Oh, another coconut water," and they don't want it.
Exactly.
It's saturated,
that's why I asked about the RTD, and it's so competitive.
So I mean, it's important to mention, and we do the tasting. So we've done a lot of tastings, we have a lot of data, and with that data, we're trying to prove on the buyer, this works and our model works, because our model is we go into stores and we taste and we demo, so people can understand why this is a coconut beverage, why this is a beach in a bottle, and it's not the same thing as the other products.
That's wonderful. That makes a big difference on the front lines. Also, I think you're in a really good spot right now because everybody's trying to have a dry January right now with liquor, and just overall, there was more alcoholism in 2021 than ever before, and I think people are really starting to go towards the healthier, less, more sobriety, or just less alcohol in general, and healthier foods and beverages. And when you mention the fact that you can make Mai Tais and things like this, you can make cocktails with your coconut water. That's already, when the person drinks it with rum or tequila or what have you, they're already getting the electrolytes back in their system. Because a lot of times we want to drink a cocktail and then drink 2 glasses of water, drink another cocktail to help us. But already you have an alcoholic beverage that's healthy for you, and in moderation. You're really on a good trend right here.
Yeah. So and no hangover, no hangover, exactly. Because you're getting hydrated at the same time.
For sure. And for some of your demos, that could be talked about. You probably don't want to add the liquor to it and the demos in the grocery stores, but that would be a good selling point because I'm very close to liquor sales, and I know that they're down like crazy right now in January because people are trying to do that. So I think you're in a good spot right now. But and also, how can people become a Vegandale? Because when you go to your website, and by the way, I'll put all your website and social media and everything on the podcast, of course, and in all the notes, but every time you go in, it says, become a Vegandale and get the coupons. How do we sign up for that?
No, actually, I mean, we participated on Vegandale. Vegandale is a festival that it's done around the country. We participated in LA, and we did... we gave out some coupons so they can exchange it at our website. But we had some troubles with not our website, but our logistics, and we didn't have our product ready. So that's what we did the pop-up. So if they had this coupon, they can trade it out, send us an email, and we'll send them the product.
Okay, so you had to have gone to the show. You had to have gone to the festival then.
Yeah.
So the rest of us are missing out.
But usually on the website and on the social media, we post constantly where we're gonna be at. We usually try to also to be on these like organic market, farmer markets, or we do some of the events and we participate in some local events. So we're also updating there where we're gonna be. So you can also search for us there. Oh,
that's great. So you have a full team of demonstrators and things like that going out and promoting.
Yeah, we're a complete team. I mean, we work with a awesome marketing agency with great people.
Yeah, I love Sasha. Sasha was great.
Yeah. I mean, there's a great team behind Kokomio that we've been building, and they really love the brand. And I'm just excited for the team and where we're gonna go next.
Well, I'm so excited. So I will put all the notes on how we can support you and where we can buy and things like that. And I just think I love your product. I just love what it comes from and your passion. And you just light up when you talk about it. And it's that beach in the bottle of your childhood, and you're translating that to your own children who are having the ice cream and the popsicles through the love of their dad as well. So I think it's really cool. And finally, with your triple threat of the people, the environment, and the business, and the fact that you've been able to increase the economy of Acapulco in the state of Guerrero and in Mexico in general, and you're just below the border. Why should we buy from China? That's already 3 times the sugar, horrible shipping, they use monkeys, and huge carbon footprint. We can buy from our country in the South. So I think this is wonderful, and I really appreciate you coming on and talking to us about this. And what are your plans for the future? Like, what are your goals for the company?
So right now, for us, it's concentrating. We're not on a plan of extending our footprint too fast and too big. We want to go very narrow and deep and create a tribe of followers of our brand, driving velocity into stores, so people really understand what the Kokomio experience is.
Very smart.
And
so quickly.
Yeah, so right now this year is focused basically on California. Okay. And hopefully by the next years we'll try to start opening up Texas, I mean, we really want to be focused on the southern part of the US. That is makes sense more for us from the border, from
Sure.
logistics. But yeah, I mean, those are the plans to keep
Awesome.
growing, keep growing the business, and to keep innovating as well.
For sure. And to get these into Las Vegas, people need the electrolytes. And I just got back from there from New Year's Eve. People need the electrolytes in the coconut water. And even for
Yeah.
poker players, they sit there for hours and hours and hours. That would be brilliant. I mean, and also, it might be interesting to hit the video game market because I've seen that video game competitions are people that are actually in, I mean, besides the sports, obviously, they are actually getting personal trainers, people that do video games, because they're always like this and they're getting like massages and they're having to have certain workouts and a nutrition plan. So instead of drinking soda or, just crappy drinks, they could be doing the Kokomio and they could be winning games, and you could do like a cross promotion with them. So it's kind of,
I
kind of
never
a fun
thought about
concept.
that.
And I
It's
do
interesting.
notice in your background, I notice that you have lots and lots of video game type of things. So
Yeah.
I see Star Wars. I like you already. I love it.
Thank you.
So-
Yes, I usually I like to collect these little toys, and usually I get it from a lot of friends. So I know which one is from who. So I like
I
them to
love
keep
that.
keep them here.
Well, I do not intend to keep you any longer away from your beautiful family and thriving business. But thank you so much, Alan Cohen, for joining us, CEO of Kokomio Coconut Water.
No, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for having me.
To find out more about the product, you can go to Kokomio.com. That's KOKOMIO.com. And you can also look them up on Instagram at MyKokomio. That's MyKokomio. Again, they come in flavors of original, pineapple, cacao, and cold brew. Made in Mexico. We appreciate you for listening, and please rate and subscribe to the show on iTunes. You can also listen on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Luminary Tuned In, or at Believe.com. You can always reach out to me for any questions or topics you'd like covered on the show at Ann McDaniels or at Ann McDaniels Actress. And thank you again so much for joining me on another episode of Believe SoCal.